What takes a situation and makes it an embarrassing situation? And how do you react when embarrassing situations occur? So, what's up, everyone? First of all, I want to welcome you to another episode of Unconscious Communication Secrets. And today I'm going to be talking about embarrassing situations. Because, someone was asking me about confidence just yesterday. And, they were like, okay, but don't you like get embarrassed, or, don't embarrassing situations happen to me, etc. And I was thinking about it. The difference between where I am right now in life and where I used to be is the embarrassing situations still happen to me a lot. But it's just that I brush them off. Like, I could be in a group of people and people will think, hey, you know what, Muneer is a bit confident, but I'll still trip. I'll still trip and fall, but I'll make a joke of it so no one even pays attention to it because I brush it off. I don't take it as seriously, and so I subcommunicate that people shouldn't take it as seriously. And I wanted to actually tell a very hilarious and yet embarrassing story that actually happened to me a little bit ago. And I was flying, I flew to Vietnam, and I went to visit Vietnam, and beautiful country, like amazing, amazing history, like crazy history. And so I went to Vietnam, and I'm there in Vietnam, and I wanted to go and see where an area where they had the Vietnamese fought in the Vietnam War, and they had an area that they called the Cu Chi tunnels. It's really fascinating. If once travel restrictions are lifted, if you ever get a chance, very, very cool thing to go and see. And they have this area called the Cu Chi tunnels. So in Vietnam, what happened was when they had the Vietnamese War, the US was invading, and obviously the US has had a lot of money, a lot of resources, and the Vietnamese had nothing, right? So how did the Vietnamese protect themselves? How did they fight back? And what they did was they built an underground system of tunnels. It's like 200 kilometers of underground tunnels, super intricate, very thin tunnels that ran under the ground in Vietnam. And so what would happen is the Vietnamese would come up and fight, and then they go under the tunnel because the US had planes and they were bombing, etc. So I went to go and see this system of tunnels, and I was fascinated. So there I am. I'm in the car, and this place is about 2 hours away from my hotel. This tour. So I'm there, and it had rained a little bit before, so I had my jacket, but I'm in shorts because it's warm weather. So I get to the area where I'm supposed to go and check out the Cu Chi tunnels, etc. And I go and I see the first area is a bit of a photo opportunity. So I go into the hole, and you go into one of the tunnels and you put a lid on top of you so that you're camouflaged. And then I come up and for a photo opportunity out of the ground. So I took the picture. I still have the picture. And then when I stepped out, I was wearing a pair of shorts, and I'm 2 hours away from my hotel. And I stepped out, and I split my pants completely where the sun shouldn't shine, or the sun doesn't shine, right? Like, it was a complete rip, right down the middle. And yeah. Now, the reason I tell you this story is I was 2 hours away from my hotel, and it was the start of a 2-hour tour. And I had the biggest rip, exposing, an artistic part of my body. Let's just call it that. and so I'm there. I'm like, oh my God. What do I do? What do I do? If I wasn't brown, I'd be blushing, etc. But luckily, no one had really seen. And so I got out the tunnel, and this hole is big. But luckily I have a jacket, like I had a raincoat. So what I did was I tied the raincoat, but it doesn't cover because it goes from my front to all the way to my back, this tear. Like it was a big tear. So instead, I just turned my jacket around so that it was like half covering the front, half covering the back. And then I just went about the tour normally. And here's the thing, because I didn't make a big deal out of it, nobody noticed, nobody knew. But did I have an embarrassing situation happen to me? 100%. But it's how we react to situations. It's not the situation itself that makes anything embarrassing. It's how we react to it. See, for a lot of people, this would have been a nightmare. Now, don't get me wrong. This day, I was tested a lot. And the worst part is I am visiting a whole number of tunnels. So what am I doing? I'm like, every once in a while, we have to go down tunnels. That means I have to bend over, I have to bend down, and I have the biggest tear ever. So I'm sort of every once in a while, everyone thinks that like Omanis are the most polite people in the world because they kept insisting that everyone go before them. Like I'm sitting there going, no, please, after you. I'll just make sure. And then the guide is sitting there going, but I need to be at the end. I'm like, no, please. In my culture, I make sure everybody goes first. so I let the guide go, then I go, so that no one gets to see what's going on down there. Like this big tear in my pants. Now, and I went through the whole day, and the funniest thing was, 3 of the people that were on my tour were actually on my flight back home. And I asked, and when I accidentally bumped into them, and I just said, when I was on my flight back home, I looked at them and I said, hey guys, by the way, I was very curious, did you know that I had a tear in my pants? And they were like, no. Oh, did you tear? Like, oh, okay, was it a bad tear or whatever? And I was like, I mean, we're talking about a big tear. Like it was bad. But this is why, you see, people won't notice an embarrassing situation unless you crazily feel embarrassed and show that you're embarrassed. And so a lot of things can happen to you. My pants tearing was the biggest thing that could ever happen. I'm talking about the biggest tear as well. However, because I kept my cool, I made an embarrassing situation completely normal. What I see sometimes is someone might go on stage, and I've done this myself, and I'll make a mistake, or I've made a mistake in the past, or someone might make a mistake, and then they'll go, oh my God, oh no. Oh my God, I made a mistake. And then they let everybody know, and then everyone feel bad, and they feel embarrassed because also people are feeling bad. However, if you just like brush things off, then you can make an embarrassing situation completely cool. And that's why if I'm walking with friends, I have a very standard line. If I like trip up and I'll be like, oh, it's a dance move, I'm just dancing, I'm all good. But I'm clumsy. I trip, I do all sorts of things. I just don't allow embarrassing situations to become embarrassing. So that's my video for today, and my story for today. Situations are not embarrassing. It's how you react to them that can make them embarrassing. So this is Muneer coming at you with another episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. Lots of love. Peace out. If you haven't, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on another episode real soon. Peace out, one love, and I will see you on another episode real soon. Bye, guys.